it's Gabby. Welcome back to my channel, but if you're new here, please subscribe and get to know me more. Today's video is all about the things that you need to know before going to South Korea for your first time. This is based on my experience going to Korea several times. I've compiled the things that I think is important, so let's get on to the video. So first up, let's talk about staying connected. So you obviously have to have a way to contact your friends, your family while you're on the go. And although Korea has a lot of free Wi-Fi all around, I think it's still important that you yourself have one prepared in case. I prefer using SIM cards instead of pocket Wi-Fi because if you're here for a short amount of time, it actually ends up becoming cheaper. I usually get my short-term SIM cards from SK or KT. Most of the time from KT because they have deals on Klook. But if you're staying for a longer time, I prefer to get it from Chingu Mobile. They have a lot of deals for like 1 month, 2 months, and longer than that. Their prices are really good, and this is not sponsored, but I hope it will be someday. Those are the 3 that I recommend you to check out for your SIM cards, and skip out on the pocket Wi-Fi unless you're going with kids. Okay, next is always have cash on hand. I myself am a credit card girly. I am a GCash girly. So in the Philippines, I rely on my cards and my GCash card, but in Korea it's a good idea to have cash on hand because things like train cards, street food vendors, and even some product in stores, they offer discounts if you pay in cash. So I recommend having a lot of cash on hand. Also, remember that tipping is not a customary thing in Korea, so do not do it because it may come off as rude to the servers. Also, another thing about paying in Korea is when you ask for the bill, you usually go to the counter to pay for it and you don't wait or ask for it at your table. You might be wondering when you sit down at the restaurant, because I was wondering why people were like getting up without paying, but it turns out they pay at the door. Next, let's talk about transportation. Their public transportation is very good in Korea. I prefer taking the bus now, but on the first 4 or 5 times I was there, I was too scared to take the bus, so I kept taking the train, which is okay too, but the problem with that is you have to keep going up and down, which hurts my knees. So when I figured out how to use the bus alone, I was very happy, though it can be easy to get lost if you don't understand Hangul, if you can't read Korean, because sometimes the buses don't have English words, which I don't understand why they do that, but they do. So the way to get onto trains are by using train cards, and you can usually get the ones that you return by leaving a deposit, and then you can get your deposit back at the end. Since I've been there so many times, I bought several T-Money cards. T-Money is their transportation card, which also can be used in taxis and buses. You buy a T-Money card in the convenience store and you top it up at the convenience store. You can get this at CU, or I don't know if 7-Eleven has them, but you can do this at the airport right away so that you don't have to worry about it when it's time to go on a train or bus. Also, these T-Money cards are really useful because I use them in convenience stores, in the taxi, and in the trains and buses, and it's really useful. So reload it at CU or any convenience store, or reload it in the train station. Next is bring your passport all the time with you. You should always carry it with you because it's your form of identification in a foreign country, not just in Korea. In any foreign country that you travel to, you should always have your passport with you for identification. This is also useful for tax refunds, for shopping, when you're shopping, or when you're getting into some places they need your identification card. So especially for people my age or older or younger who want to get into clubs, it is a must to bring your passport because not all clubs there accept licenses or like regular IDs. So a passport is your most important identification card in a foreign country. Okay, back to navigating and transportation. My way of getting around is by using Naver Maps. Naver Maps is like the best thing ever because I have gotten lost by Google Maps in Korea. Google does not really work well there, especially navigating outside of Seoul. Like if you go to the countryside, you should really rely on Naver Maps. If you're not used to it, you should start getting used to it before you travel because it's really worth it. You can pin all of your locations that you want to visit so you can already fix your itinerary beforehand, and it will give you areas that are close by on the map, so you don't have to waste your time running around Seoul, wasting all that transportation money, and use it for shopping instead. The other good options for maps are Kakao Maps and Subway Map. Subway Map is good for checking the time that the train leaves or which way to go on the train and stuff like that, but all of these are also on Naver Maps, so I suggest if you just want to use one app, download Naver Maps. Again, not sponsored, but Naver, if you want to sponsor me, why not? Next are the plugs and sockets in Korea. So in South Korea they use these kinds of adapters because the holes in the walls, what do you call that? That thing that you put this into, they're all circular, so make sure that you have an adapter. But don't worry if you forget it, you can always buy one at Daiso, which is where I got this. So make sure you have the right adapter for your devices so that you can charge them and you won't be stressed out during the trip like I was the first time I went there. Okay, next let's talk about the recycling and trash cans in Korea. So first of all, you'll notice when you step into Korea, or if you've already been to Korea, you will know that trash bins are pretty hard to find on the streets of Seoul or literally anywhere. I've been outside of Seoul and it's so hard to find a trash bin. And you should always be prepared to carry your trash with you. Literally hold on to it until you get home because there will not be any trash bins. And if you're staying at an Airbnb, hotels are really not that strict about this, but the recycling for if you're staying in a house or an Airbnb, a condo or something, they're very strict with the recycling, which I do not understand until now. But they have segregation for food waste, plastics, I believe, paper and other stuff. And you should make sure to dispose of your trash properly. Okay, next, the question I always get: what are your food recommendations? What is the best unlimited K-barbecue place in Korea? Let me tell you, Korean barbecue in Korea is a must try because their beef is delicious, but they don't have a lot of unlimited. I have never eaten at an unlimited K-barbecue restaurant in Korea. And also, it can be tricky to eat at the Korean barbecue restaurant for solo travelers because most of them cater to big groups. Well, not big groups, groups of like 2 to like a lot. So if you're traveling alone, it might be hard to find a restaurant that will cater to just you for K-barbecue. But I have a suggestion because I found one. I was lonely and hungry and craving K-barbecue, and I stumbled upon Hongmo Jib in Hongdae. I have posted a reel about this. I have posted a TikTok about this, and literally they have the cutest like sets, and then you grill it on your own in this tiny grill in front of you, and it's really cute, and it's like separated, so like you don't even need to talk to anyone. Next is Gwangjang Market, and you may have heard of this on Netflix, that there's that famous Netflix noodle Gwangjang Market lady who went viral on TikTok and social media. And I will say Gwangjang Market is food lovers paradise. It's my paradise because literally all the street foods are there everywhere. Just remember that all the stalls in Gwangjang Market sell similar food, so you don't really have to overthink when you're choosing a place to sit because they're all selling the same thing. Some of the stalls may be closed on Monday because it's their rest day, so just keep that in mind when adding it to your itinerary. Okay, the last few things. Next is the cafe culture in Korea. Seoul has an amazing cafe culture, and you'll really find the most unique and Instagram worthy, very Instagram worthy cafes all over the city. I literally found one that had like this mini waterfall. Like apparently it's man-made, but I thought it was outside of Seoul, and it was literally like 10 minutes from Hongdae. So I was like, what? This went viral on TikTok too. So all these Instagram worthy cafes, you don't even have to step out of Seoul. You can literally find them all over the place. So it's really worth it to go check on Instagram and see what are the trending cafes right now, because there are a lot and you may get overwhelmed when you're there. So it's better to pre-plan. You should definitely take some time to explore the cafe culture. And even as someone who does not drink coffee, their drinks, like their iced teas, their peach iced teas and their aids, oh, they're really good. So you should go ahead and try that. Go to a few cafes, don't miss out. Don't go to Starbucks. Skip out on the Starbucks. Okay, so the last thing on my list is pop-ups. So there are a lot of pop-up events all over Seoul, more specifically in areas like Seongsu and Apgujeong, and they're fun, and there's like, they often feature like limited time experiences. I've been to some, like a soju one, and we played games to win like soju and like food at the end. There's also some skincare and makeup ones where they have games and stuff, and they have giveaways for free, which you should really check out if you have the time. So this is why I would recommend you going to Seoul for a week or more, because there's so many things to see just in Seoul. Yeah, so these pop-ups are perfect for adding a special little memory for your trip. You should take pictures at photo booths and remember your wonderful time in Seoul. So yeah, that's it for today's vlog. I hope these tips help you when you go to South Korea for the first time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And also, I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think are some important things to know before going to Seoul that I missed on telling you guys in this video? Drop your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye guys!